back. It is Thursday night, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. It is 9:30 Central Time. If you are joining us on YouTube, thank you. Please like and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, however you consume podcast media, please rate 5 stars, like and subscribe. We are back. It is the Saints Block Party podcast. Um, Coming at you. We appreciate you joining. However you're joining live. If you're listening, let's not even let's not bury the lead. Let's not bury the lead. Big news for our podcast. We'll get into Saints, Kellen Moore, staff building, Taysom Hill, combines tomorrow. But because of the combine, we can't barely leave, bro. Part of me hates it because you won't be there because we are a team. We are business partners. We do everything together, and I hate that you can't be there. But we got, and hopefully this will mean that next year we can be there together and figure it out. Gotta get them Patreons up. Gotta get them views up.
Patreon.com/Saints Block
Say
Party.
party. It's hard out here being an entrepreneur in this bitch, but we got word today officially that at least one half of SBPI will be going to Indianapolis next week, representing our podcast at the combine. Wayne said he did his part at the combine. I'm only going to be there Tuesday, Wednesday, so that's when the general managers speak. That's when the head coaches speak. Um, so I won't be there for the on-field drills. I won't be there for when the top prospects are speaking to the media. But I don't think people understand um, how big of a thing this is for us
Huge, man.
as a podcast. And you know, and the story behind it is actually pretty funny because we got the denial or decline email or denial email what Tuesday? Got it on Tuesday, and it just didn't didn't sit well in my soul. It just didn't something didn't sit well in my soul, and I was sitting in a terrible commute because the commute to work these last 2 weeks have been absolutely terrible, and I don't send emails and drive or text and drive. But sitting in this awful commute to work, 19 miles away, about an hour to get to work, I was like, no, like this doesn't make any sense. Like we deserve to be there. We have a reputable backing, and I sent Ryan what I wrote. I wrote it this morning. I sent the email. I said, no, like we I need to speak to somebody. Got to talk to me.
Right. I need
Somebody needs to
answers.
talk, like make it make sense, as we say regarding the things. Someone, it needs to make sense to me. If we have friends who work in the NFL who are willing to vouch for us, not that we would ever ask that, and to be fair, we never ask anyone to ever do that for us. It's just not how we operate. It's not how we roll. But if that's something that they were willing to do, then how can we? And literally by noon today, magically, we have combine credentials.
Boom.
Yeah, yes, Jake, I did ask to speak to the manager, and like I told Ryan
Straight
when it
up.
happened, the spirit of my mom was exuding through me because this is the type that's the type of thing that she didn't back down, and she was fierce and she was ferocious, and it comes out in me in spurts. Not all the time, because she was like she was like that pretty often. But when things don't sit well with me, it will come out, and they definitely have started to come out more since my mom has passed, and so you got to catch up on Paradise. To people who watch, it's up to date with Paradise. It's a moment about basically not a spoiler, but sometimes in life to get a point across, you have to make a scene,
Yep.
and um, all that to say, long story short, I will be going to the combine next week. I have a flight leaving on Monday out of LAX at 7:30. I get to Indianapolis at 6 a.m. in the morning. uh, I'll sleep on the plane. I'll sleep for a little bit when I get to the hotel, and then
It's on, baby.
So,
In
so
the building.
in the building, already touch base with our dude Greg Rosenthal, Jordan Rodriguez, Kevin Patra, our dude Scott Bushka of Field Vision. The whole Field Vision crew is going to be. I don't know if they're going to be at the combine, but they'll be there. So it's a quick turnaround trip, but our 5 years of doing this podcast is approaching in April, and we've been a business approaching three-ish years, 3+ years. Everything that you and I have done, we have organically built this from literally from the bottom to where it is now. And this is not, where we plan to stop, but we have put
Absolutely not.
our blood, sweat, tears, money, finances, time, everything into this podcast because it's something that we believe in. And us getting denied media credentials by the Saints was the best thing to ever happen to us
Yep.
because there are no strings attached to us. We can be all and will always be, and that is our promise. We will always be authentically who the hell we are. No one's gonna change us. I am who I am. Ryan is who we are, and that's what makes SBP in the past STP what and who we are. We couldn't have gotten here without y'all support. Period. This doesn't happen
Period.
without y'all. Like listens, downloads, all that little shit, retweeting, all that, it matters, is crucial because people pay attention to that. And we truly, truly appreciate it. All we do is we talk about football, we talk about the Saints. We call the Saints out on their fucking bullshit when they're fucking bullshitting, and when they do well, we give them praise. That's it. That's literally
Yeah.
it.
That's simple, man.
But we appreciate y'all. We really, really do.
Really do. Appreciate y'all. Big time, big thing for us at the combine. I mean, bro, I've been watching the combine all these years, man. All these years. And we gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be there, but we gonna be there. If you there, we there.
Right.
So just the fact that that stepping stone. I know a lot of media people. It's nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
do it every year. Been probably doing it 20, 30 years. Like, big deal. Big deal for us, man. Big deal for us as draft nicks, as Saints fans, as football fans. It's just a big deal. So I can't wait to. Hopefully, we gonna get some good content out of that. So best believe if you ain't a Patreon right now, if you ain't a YouTube member, get ready for some content, please.
Oh yeah. I will be like, if you saw anything from the past Senior Bowl, this is work. Like we take this very seriously. This expensive, not gonna say how much it is. This expensive ass camera will be put it in work. You will see the pores of whoever head coach GM is at the podium. Will it be Mickey Loomis? Will it be Kellen Moore? Probably not. But it doesn't
Definitely
even
won't be
matter.
Loomis.
Absolutely not. But all that to say, we're not there just to get Saints content.
Yeah.
It would be great to ask. I got some questions tucked away to ask Sean Payton. I'm just
AG.
I got some things. I'll just keep it at that. I'll just keep it at that, right? And so, and they may be tangentially Saints related, and maybe not. Like they don't have to be. Like we are Saints podcast, but they don't necessarily have to be Saints related. So Sean gonna pretend. Jake said Sean gonna pretend like he doesn't know who you are. It's okay. I can almost. Sean 100% knows who the fuck we are. Sean was listening to our podcast way, way, way before. He knows who we are. I know Sean gonna be looking at how this nigga get in here. Like it's okay. Sean's a real one though. He might dodge the question, but he'll know who we are. Dante
Go hit you with
said,
that next question. Next question.
Sean Dante said, "I knew when that unnecessary hate started coming, y'all was about to blow up. Always the darkness before the light."
We ain't blow up yet, bro. We ain't blow up yet, man.
Not
We
yet.
still
We still grinding, bro.
still grinding.
Um, so let's talk about before we go into the coaching, assembled up to this point. I wanted to kind of start with the news we talked about a little bit last week, I believe it was, on the Insiders NFL Network, Ian Rappaport, or maybe 2 weeks ago with the Taysom Hill report. And then I kind of followed up with a tweet that I had heard from my friend. So this is what I heard, 2 days ago? I don't even know. I don't know what time it is. But Kellen, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the vibe that Clint Kubiak had when he became OC with Taysom Hill. But obviously it's different because Kellen Moore is the head coach, right?
Yeah.
But basically was told that Kellen Moore wants Taysom Hill to remain a Saint. He would essentially really want him on the team. And it completely makes sense. Like when I heard Kellen Moore didn't want Derek Carr to be his quarterback, I was like, oh, this man knows ball. So
Yeah.
of course he wants Taysom Hill to be on the team. But it's gonna come down to simply on the books, Taysom Hill's contract is 10 million. He's 34, 35, coming off a very, very serious injury. And the Saints are going to approach him with an option to take a pretty, pretty fucking substantial pay cut. Um, I don't know how much. Way back when, like months ago, even before Kellen Moore became head coach, this was like during the season. I had heard it may have needed to be to the vet minimum. Maybe with Kellen Moore in the building, he said, "Nah, man, like I need like can we knock it down to 1 million? Can we knock it down to 2 million? I don't know, but it's gonna be up to Taysom to see if he's willing to take that pay cut, and if not, then the team will more than likely have to decide potentially to part ways with Taysom, and that relationship will end. Put that out there, to our Discord. Put that out there to Twitter, and the tweet kind of blew up a little bit. Then I had people come into my mentions. I hate when people like Homer fans acting like the Saints pay them. Like it's so weird. The parasocial relationship of like, oh, if he doesn't take a pay cut with all the money that the Saints have paid him, he what are you even talking about? It's not
What?
your money. It's literally not your money. Like, what the fuck are you talking? I blocked like 5 or 6 people over it. It was so weird. But it's interesting to see how it will play out.
Yeah, man. Very interesting. I mean, where he's at, as far as his mentality. Does he want to keep playing? He plays a physical brand of football. He has to put a lot into it, man, because he plays like 5, 6, 7, 8 different positions. Would he want to go, partner up with Sean up in Denver?
Right.
Just it's just gonna be interesting. I tweeted earlier this week, like, maybe it's just time to move on and just turn a new leaf. Like new coaching staff, new everything. But Taysom just one of them players like I would never push out the door. Like
Never.
he's a value add to your team. He's a value add to the team. He's not a progress stopper because I mean, how many times have they tried to replace
So many, bro.
Taysom Hill with a multitude of players, with tight ends, running backs, backup quarterbacks, everything. They've tried to get him out the door, and just like Thanos, come back to me. And when we need a win, when we need like just some kind of spark on offense, every year, who they go to? Go to Taysom, and he provides it. And he provides it. He had that great win against the Browns this past season that was, mostly on him. He was having a great game before he got hurt. I can't remember who was that against.
I can't remember what game that was.
It's a blur, bro. Anyway, so however they move, man. Like I get it. Like if that was his last snap with the Saints, it's gonna be sad to see him go. But ready to move on. And if Kelly, just the fact, just like with Clint Kubiak, that was a litmus test for me. Like, do you know ball or not? So the fact Kelly Moore looked at the tape, probably looked at the tape for the past couple of years, and like, man, we need all the help we can get,
All,
man. Bring
all,
Taysom
bro,
back, man.
all. and then the conversation I was having with my friend is that I wonder if the way Taysom looks at it is shit. Like this, my head coach just won a Super Bowl as offensive coordinator. Yeah, yeah, I'm making 10 million, but I'm older. Like shit, I could be all right making two. I don't know. I don't know the number, right? I
Yeah.
could be okay making 2 million, but shit, he's gonna put me in a position where I know I'm gonna be successful. Like I could. An underrated thing about the Kellen Moore hire is at least offensively, I you were and it's funny because like his personality, like you would not think it, but people in the NFL, offensive players are they see what he was able to do in Philly this year, and that's going to be something that they're going to gravitate towards.
Oh yeah.
Like oh shit, he did that. Oh shit, okay, all right, I could, that how's it going to be? And Taysom doesn't need that. He's 35. He's towards the end of his career, but I definitely could see how that would be enticing to him. Of like, shit, man, I already got it made. I'm good. I'm good taking the pay cut, but I don't want to move my family. Who knows? Who knows where Taysom is in it? It's really hard to tell.
No, we'll see. We'll see, man.
What else do we want to talk about? Salary cap. Projected was a little. I don't know. A little more than.
Yeah, it was a couple of million more. Like it was kind of projected before to be like 75 million, but instead it's gonna be like between 77, between 277 and 281. So it could be as high as 281. So could be an extra 6 million that we didn't expect to have. So where the Saints are, every little bit helps. Like every million is a good thing. So we'll take it.
This nigga was on the couch having naps about Derek Carr getting released.
Bruh.
This man is
Bro, I had a
fainting,
dream. I just dreamed that I saw that tweet, boy. I was like, yes,
fainting, bro,
gone, man.
fainting, bro.
Put on my unfollow shirt, unfollow.
Oh, that man, he was blocked probably like a couple of games into his to his first season, bro. It did not take very long. Um, Jake said Ryan woke up sad as hell.
Damn.
um, Darrell in the chat said, "When do you guys expect the DC hire?" I don't know.
I really don't know.
I
Soon?
mean, soon. Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard any different. I still 100% believe it to be Brandon Staley. I haven't heard any different that it's going to be anyone else. I know a lot of they interviewed a lot of different candidates and people were getting excited. Can I just get something off my chest that's been a little annoying, bruh?
Go ahead, bro.
This whole like conversation of like, ooh, the Saints are gonna change. Like, ooh, 3-4 defense is coming to the. Been driving me up a fucking wall, bro. Like how, like I want to get Cody Alexander or maybe Greg Cosell on here to like give the numbers of like how many actual defensive snaps like defenses play like in the three
In a
four in the
real
four
3-4,
three.
like nose tackle, 5 tech defensive ends, outside linebacker. You just don't see it no more,
It
bro.
doesn't
They're missing
happen.
it
Like
all.
it literally doesn't happen. And there's it literally it was driving me crazy. It literally was driving me, and it's like, oh, like the Saints are gonna finally go to the 3-4. Like teams don't even stay in base 4-3 anymore.
Is this 2013? You remember,
Bruh.
2013? And we was all like, man, we're in a 3-4. Let's run a 3-4. And it's just, I mean,
uh,
teams line up with 4 down linemen, bro. Most of the time, they line up with 4 down linemen. Yes, some of the rules are different. Different,
right.
3-4, how you rush, how you defend the run. Double, gap, catching both gaps, or do gap and a half, and all that stuff, over under fronts and all that. But defense today got to be multiple. At the end of the day, if you're a defense, you got to be multiple. You rush three, rush four, rush five. Play quarters coverage, two deep, three. Cover three, single high. You just got to be multiple. So none of that really matters at the end of the day. It really doesn't matter.
Does
Get your athletes on the field.
um shout out to our dude Minor Reason, the $9 $9.99 super chat. He said tax
Oh, thank you,
refunds
bro.
dropped. I'm showing some love.
My nigga. My nigga. The check hit, boy.
Listen, bro. I'll just say that the timing, like it was the unexpected reversal that been thinking I was going to Indy and then finding out I was going to Indy, like like the timing of it was like, oh fuck, what, what? So like I've been going to like state California state refund. It's
Refresh.
what is it? Not nope. IRS federal? Nope, not yet. Okay. Dante says stay off of underdog fantasy. Don't mind. Yeah, that nigga was in the zooms. Like that nigga
Bro.
needed help, bro. Yeah,
Help, man.
yeah.
Sick of it,
1-800 gambler, nigga. Like do not, do
Hope
not.
NY. Hope NY.
Um, I would. This is this was something that I was. He said I quit sports betting 2 months ago. Look at that.
Look, look at my dude.
Where
I
do
bet
you
your,
get
I bet your pockets loving it right now too.
do you get a sobriety chip? All the apps are off my phone. Is that how? Is how like maybe when a person like deletes their OnlyFans account? Like I wouldn't know anything about that, but like is that how it feels? Like you just like enough is enough. Get this off. Get this sin away from me. I feel like it's probably similar, like a similar thing. Anyway, can we? So this is the Saints are in a position to do something. It's going to take some balls to do it. Having this conversation earlier with trusted friend that, and it wouldn't give them the cap relief prior to free agency. So this would all mostly be all of it will be post June 1st cap relief. But if they were to cut Derek Carr, make him a post June 1st, and I want to give credit to my friend for bringing this to my attention. This is not coming from me. Cut Derek Carr, make him a post June 1 cut. This sacrilegious. Sometimes, to quote Thanos, the strongest wills requires hard decisions. Release Cam, cut Jamal Williams, get rid of Colin Sanders. Post June 1st, they could have $40 million in cap space, Ryan.
Yeah,
40
buddy.
million. The Saints, $40 million in cap space post June 1st
Yeah, buddy.
for a rebuilding team. Don't, as a rebuilding team with a 36-year-old offensive minded head coach. Yes, Wayne, 40 million. Don't does doesn't those conversations have to be being had right now in terms of what we need, what should we be doing to go forward?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I'm sweating.
Absolutely.
I'm preaching.
Sweating. Absolutely should be happening, man. Like, and that's the thing. Look, even if they go with the post June 1 cut of Derek Carr, it will be tough, like at the open of free agency, because there will not be a ton of wiggle room due to the way the cap hits hit and all that stuff. You won't get
Unless
relief to that. Nah.
unless you make them contracts base $1 million and them sinus bonuses real high. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I mean that's what they're gonna do. That's what
Oh,
they're gonna
for
do.
sure. Oh, yes.
They're gonna have to do it because I don't know what the exact number would be, but if they cut the players they could cut, restructure the players they can restructure to the max, take the pay cuts of the players they could pay cut, and June 1st Derek Carr, they should have a 4 or 5 million under the cap. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And with that, you could you could sign 2 or 3 players. You know what I'm saying? And you could do like the $1 million, $1.5 million base salary, and $13 million next year. You
Yep.
know, go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it just work it out. And that's probably what they're gonna do. It's like what they did with Chase Young. You know what I'm saying? Like that's probably what they're gonna do. And then come after June 1st, you get that relief. You know what I'm saying? You get that relief, and everything rolls forward. So I wouldn't expect a ton of shopping this free agency. And in some ways, that's a good thing because I'm telling you, bro, like every year, if you go back and look at like the hottest free agents of 2 years ago, like go pull up an article from 2 years ago, who's the top free
Mm.
agents? A lot of
I like
times
it.
they're getting released right now, like they're getting cut right now. They're cap casualties. Like the top free agents usually
Ooh.
end up being cap casualties in 2 or 3 years. It's
Let
just
me.
usually how it works.
I just put up our dude Greg Rosenthal from 2023. So, oh, he up. Oh no, that was updated. No, that's not the
Good
one.
luck googling that, bro. It's hard.
Oh, the original ranking. Okay. Okay. Guess who the number one fucking free agent was in 2033, bro?
Derek Carr.
No, Lamar fucking Jackson. The collusion
Oh,
year.
yeah. Remember that?
Oh, fucking! It was Javon Hargrove. That was the player I was trying to
The
think
player
of.
was trying to remember. Yep, that went to the 49ers.
49ers. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Javon. Okay, so three was Javon Hargrove, four was Orlando Brown, five was Daniel fucking Jones, bleh. Six was Derek Carr, seven was C.D. Deuce, eight was James Bradbury, nine Jesse Bates, 10. How crazy is this? How crazy is the NFL? 10 Saquon Barkley.
Wow. Wow. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
But yeah, like point I was just pretty much trying to make is it might be okay that they can't go crazy on the first week of free agency. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you pick one play, maybe a Makai Becton, you get that in, and then boom,
Boom.
take your name out the market.
Yep.
And then come after June 1st, you get a lot of older players that become available. You could look into the trade market. Maybe trade a 2026 fifth rounder. We love to give the fifth rounders. Give up a fifth rounder for somebody or whatever. Maybe you catch a player that's hitting the. There's going to be a lot of veterans players that are like 28, 29, 30 that don't get picked up in the first and second wave of free agency that's going to be
Yep.
sitting out there. Remember Tyrann Matthew when he got released
Yep.
from the Chiefs? He was
Yep.
out there till like May, June. There's going to be a lot of players like that the Saints could possibly get, after June 1st. So just don't take it as doom and gloom. I see a lot of people like, oh, how are they going to build a team? They cut their car, won't have no money, and blah 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 blah. Man, let Kai cook, man.
And
Kai can cook.
you know how you rebuild a team? You have to fucking draft well. You
Please.
you can't you like free if you as a team are relying on free agency to build your team, you're already cooked as an organization.
Cook, bro.
Already
Cook.
cooked. You look. I mean, we're not gonna go back, but like go back to our podcast we did post Super Bowl in regards to how the Eagles built their team. Okay, offensive line was built through the draft for the most part. Their defense largely built through the draft. You know, with some help from the Saints. Right? They added Zach Bond in free agency with some help from the Saints because he was a free agent. They built like not just the Eagles, but most successful teams when the Saints were at their glory days, 2006, they had an epic draft class. 2017, they had an epic draft class. And even 2017, the class, the class came before, or Michael Thomas was what 2000
2016. Yep.
2016. They got a perennial Hall of Fame player before he got injured in the class before it. So you build the team in the draft. The free
Yep.
agency, free agents should just be the icing on the cake. If you're relying on free agency to build your team as an organization, you're cooked. You are
Cook, man.
cooked.
Cook.
Cooked.
Titans tried it this past year. Spent a bunch of money trying to bring in all kind of players. They picked a number one overall. Spending like a ton of money, GM fired, all that stuff. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. You supplement, you fill a hole here and fill a hole there. You supplement some pieces and stuff like that, but can't build your team like that. So,
Can do. I'm going to ask you this question, and then we're going to take our break to our sponsor. Mind the Reese. Don't listen to the sponsorship. Just ignore it. And then we're going to come back and talk about the coaching staff. If I gave you an option, pick one free agent. If we could have one, I'm giving you Mekhi Becton versus Milton Williams.
ooh,
Which one?
ooh.
Which one? If you could just one in a vacuum to add on the Saints, offensive line, defensive line. Which one are you adding to the team?
That's a tough one, man. But I'm gonna go Mekhi Becton.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go Mekhi Becton because it's a good draft with defensive linemen. And I just don't want to take no goddamn OL, bro. I don't want to do it, man. Check that box. Check that box in free agency. Then you got Mekhi Becton next to Fuaga. Then you got McCoy right there. You got a good, nice like middle to left side of your line.
Get it, bro.
We'll figure out Ruiz and pray for Penning. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure all that out later.
Hashtag
And we
pray for
roll.
Penny.
We rolling with that, man. We rolling with that. I would love Milton Williams. Like he would be such a great fit on the defensive line. Like next to Brazil, like I would love it, bro. Love it.
See, it's funny because I would go Milton, and my logic for going Milton Williams is, excuse me, um, he had Mackay had a really great season last year for the Eagles. Part of me still worries
Oh
that
yeah.
in the NFL, in four-ish seasons, he's only been able to stay healthy 2 seasons,
Oh
two
yeah.
two and a half seasons.
Oh yeah.
And let's keep it real. Part of his issues that he had in New York were weight issues, right?
New Orleans, baby. Ooh, in New Orleans? Shit.
Milton went to Louisiana Tech, so at least I know
Oh, he,
he gonna be in. This nigga gonna be in shape because he showed it in college that he.
right.
So I would go Milton. He's been healthier. And to me, like Mackay has the pedigree. I feel Milton may be one of those like kind of like players who is right about to just
Hit that. Hit that prime. Yeah. Yep.
he's the type of player to me that the Saints feel like they were getting with Colin Sanders when they signed him from the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yep.
Potentially, that's
Yep.
my logic for going with Milton over Mackay. That
Ain't
said,
wrong,
if
bro.
I would love Mackay. I'm not trying to like sully his name. Those would just be my concerns with
Oh,
him.
there's absolutely concerns. Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let's get to our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. We'll be back to talk about the actual coaching staff thus far. It's been pretty much all offense, but we'll talk about that. And when we'll talk about that, any questions you have in the chat, and then we will wrap up. But let's get to our sponsor with Underdog Fantasy.
Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are cold? Make your entries in just a few taps and turn your sport opinions into real money. Wide receiver hurt? Every dog deserves a second chance. And with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo if any early injury causes your entry to lose.
I love Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the best place to play champions. So sign up and deposit now using promo code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Download the app today and use the code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, download the app today and use the code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Will Derek Carr throw for over 75 yards, higher or lower? You decide using Underdog Fantasy.
Download the app today and use code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Higher or lower, you make the call on Underdog. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text Next Step to 53342. In New York, call 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
Okay, we are back. What is going on? We are back. So we're gonna want to talk about the coaching staff. Sorry if the for we wanted to do just a graphic. If you are listening to this, we for the audio listeners, we have the video podcast going. So we have kind of just a graphic of the coaching staff that the Saints have hired for mostly just offensively and a couple of other positions for the coaching staff thus far. So we're going to talk about this. If there's any questions going on in the YouTube chat, I can't see it because I'm sharing the screen. But news coming out. I think Underhill reported it today, yesterday. I don't know what time it is anymore. Offensive
Today.
coordinator Doug Nussmeier, offensive coordinator, will be the offensive coordinator for the Saints. The quarterbacks coach, Scott Tozine, that Kellen Moore has history with, dating back to the Cowboys. Running backs coach will be Joel Thomas, who has been a long time running backs coach with the Saints. Returns after his stint with the Giants. He said, "DA's out. I will come back."
Baby.
Tight ends coach Chase Hazlitt, who is the son of former Saints head coach Jim Haslett. Offensive line coach Brandon Nugent, who was with the Saints in. Was he a former offensive line coach with the Saints, or just?
Can't remember. Was it O-line or was it running backs?
It was O line, but I don't know if he was the actual O line
O-line coach.
coach, like the main coach, or just an O line
Yeah.
coach. Special teams coordinator is Phil. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing this correctly. Uh,
Giuliano.
Galliano, who was kind of like the protege under Darren Rizzi, director of sports science that Kellen Moore kind of took from the Eagles. Ted Rath. That means Matt Rhea. Out of here.
Gone.
Get out of here, Matt. And then maybe one of the more important kind of snags from the Eagles staff is in an offensive O line role. TJ Paganetti, who had been with the Eagles for like 10 plus years. So he's going to have some type of role with the offensive line. Seems like a lot of the Eagles beat reporters were very kind of surprised that he left the Eagles and took the job with the Saints. One thing that just stood out to me immediately when all these kind of hires were coming out, a lot of young coaches, bro. Like a lot of coaches in their 30s, bro.
Very young staff. Very young staff. Very interesting. It's a good mix of, they're young, but they've coached a long time.
Hmm.
A lot of skin in the game. A lot of you have some former players in there like Doug Nussmeier. He played for the Saints. Um, you know, uh, Scott Tolzien. I remember him playing for the Green Bay Packers. So you got a mix of young, former players. You got former Saints in there, people that's been in the building. So if you love continuity, there's your continuity. And good, people, good coaches like Joel Thomas. He was a good coach with the Saints
Was man.
for years, for years. It's just interesting. I'm really interested in TJ Pagenetti. I'm interested to see what his role is going to be. Because I mean, you just listen to Eagles people. It's just like he was just kind of like a do everything type of guy, just one of those smart guys to have in the building. Not just offensive line, but like that was a major role. And look, if we could snatch any kind of brain trust
Any.
from the Eagles, like give me, especially in regards to the offensive line, like
As much as
give
we've
me,
done for y'all, can y'all help
help
us?
us,
Help
please.
us.
Give me, give me. Ted Rath, the sports front science guy, no idea. No idea. Like, I saw some good things. I saw some people say players were hurt under him. I don't know. Don't know.
Guess what? I've seen Matt Rhea for like what 2 years.
The most injured team I've ever seen in my life. Everybody was injured.
Everybody.
Everybody was injured.
Speaking of which,
Everybody.
bro, I'm gonna do a live unfollow for Matt Rhea right now. This is gonna feel so good, bro.
Unfollow.
So fucking good.
Uh,
Oh, you can
they
keep
got
talking, bro. Just
special
fucking
special team coach Phil Galliano. He was already
unfollow,
with the
bitch.
Saints.
Sorry, I don't mean to just get out of my face.
He was already our special teams coach once Rizzi took over as head coach. So
Right.
keep him. Seems like I don't have him on here, but Coach Keith, the wide receiver coach, I think he's staying.
Yes. Yes. That
Yeah,
is confirmed.
I
Yes.
don't have. Okay, so I don't have him on here, but that
You know
I
what's
think that's a good move.
it's funny you say that because I initially had unfollowed him thinking that he wasn't going to be the wide receivers coach, and then like the next day it was confirmed that he was staying on. So then I refollowed him.
Refollow, refollow.
Refollowed.
Yeah, but look, I mean, I'm glad they kept him. I don't know anything about him, but I know players like him. Like players swear by him. I've heard Chris Olave, Shaheed, players not even with the Saints, players from around the league talk highly about him. So that's all I need to hear. Good enough for me. So it's a nice little coaching staff, bro. Like he's stretching his Rolodex, bro. He's stretching his Rolodex out. It's not a prime location to come for coaches, but he's making the moves he can, stealing some people from the Super Bowl winners this
Hmm.
year. Man, you can't ask for more than that, bro. Now, I do think when it comes to staffing the defense, I think that's going to be his weakness.
Yep.
Uh, just because he is a young coach, he hadn't been around, too long to build up those relationships. So as we see, like if Brandon Staley is the guy, it's one of the few guys he knows because he worked under
That's it, bro.
Brandon Staley, for one season. So
And all the signs still point to Brandon Staley being the defensive coordinator. Like I said earlier, I haven't heard anything that like counter points or counteracts to that. I want to give a shout out to uh, our girl Catherine Fisher, who we still haven't been able to get on the podcast yet. We want to get Catherine Fisher, so she's a listener, a supporter of the podcast. She's a Patreon. She's a director. Just a great. She went to the Chargers game that we had the meetup for out here this season, and I was texting with her about like the potential Brandon Staley hire, and she made just such an astute point about Brandon Staley, and she said that she felt like Brandon Staley would be Kellen Moore's Gary Gibbs, and I said
yep,
that feel like I'm like that feels spot on the fucking money.
spot
Like
on, man.
yes, and and I hope not. And like maybe Brandon Staley in his time of being fired from Chargers head coach and the time he spent with the 49ers, you hope that what Mickey Loomis hoped and Gail hoped for Da right in his time with the Raiders, and he went to the Denver, whatever. That he grew as a coach, and blah blah blah. And Brandon Staley's not being asked to be a head coach. Literally, it's just stay
Right.
in your lane, be a defensive coordinator.
Yep.
But do you have that growth, and do you have the adaptability to your scheme to
Um.
adapt to your players? Because you're not going to be potentially working with players of the caliber that you're used to working with. Like even when you're in LA, you're working with Joey Bosa, you're working with Khalil Mack, you're working with Darren James. This is a different game here, bro.
Different game, man. Different game. He
Want to give a shout.
gonna need to go. He gonna
Go
need
ahead,
to coach. He going to get his
coach,
coach on down here.
coach.
You know, sweat
Uh,
equity. You know,
can we have
tackling,
like
rallying to the ball, all that.
like can you be our Jonathan Gannon?
Good question, man.
Because Jonathan Gannon, like, shout out to our dude Patrick Claybon. Can you have that search bar defense where I don't know who is these niggas, but they
Yeah,
out here
they flying
are
around, man.
flying around, they making plays. I don't even know who the fuck these niggas are, but they out here balling. Can you inspire that from whatever the Saints put on the field on defense for their 11 players? That's the question. That's what it boils down to, right? Let me catch up on the chat real quick. Damon Jones, shout out to you, Damon, for I hope I'm pronouncing that. Or is it Damon? Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. 4.99 super chat. If the Saints don't go Genty, what running back would you want them to draft?
Whew.
I really don't think that the Saints, and we talked about this on our Genty podcast, Prospect of the Week episode, Patreon only, YouTube member only, patreon.com/Saints About Party. Listen to that if you haven't. So I won't give a little too much. I don't think Genty's going to be in the Saints cards unless Kellen Moore just fucking just takes that boy's steak dick out and just slams it on the table.
Mm.
That said, and me, you, Dante were listening to the 2+ hour Daniel Jeremiah pre-combine conference call this morning. 2+ hours. DJ is a fucking machine in terms of just a machine, man. That's it. There's so many running backs in this draft class. I don't know, like it. I can see them. To me, both Ohio State running backs seem just like so prototypical Saints running back types. Henderson,
Definitely.
Judkins just checked
Yep.
the Saints box to a T.
Yep.
If Sean was still the head coach, I could see them. He's not, right, but Blue, like, ooh, Blue's one of my draft baits. I love
Mm-hmm.
me some fucking Blue, bro. Like to me, he has so similar traits to Gibbs as a prospect. That home run ability. I know he has a
Mm-hmm.
fumble issue, but Gibbs just makes it move for me. But
Mm-hmm.
I really do think if they pass by Genty in the first round, which I do think they probably will, unless Kellen Moore just really just adamant about him at 9. I would not be surprised like if was it Junkins or Henderson is there at 40 or early round 3 with their first pick of the third round, that they would make perfect sense for the Saints later in the draft.
Yep. Plenty of running backs, man.
So many, bro.
Caleb Johnson, Iowa State. I mean, they got
Jesus Christ.
the kid out in North Carolina, in North
Yeah,
Carolina.
Amari.
Oh,
Oh my
Marion,
God.
yeah,
Is it Amarion?
Marion. Is it Marion? Him, he a beast. Like, bro, like my little Senior Bowl Bay, RJ Harvey. You probably get him day 3. Like
Yeah.
they got dudes, bro. Like they got dudes all over this draft. ATN, you know, you can probably get him day 3. Like, bro, they got all flavors and styles of running backs if they don't get Genty. So, like, I would love to get Genty, but it's like, if they don't, it's not like we're going to be like, oh, shit, where we going to get a running back? You're going to have a chance to get a running back. Not like Genty. Like, you won't get one like Genty, but you will get a chance to get a running back or 2.
Or 2. Jasper Bowden said all offensive hires. Where is the defensive hires? I don't think the defensive hires come until they got the defensive the defensive
Coordinator.
coordinator in place because like I
Hmm.
don't think Kellen Moore has the Rolodex to hire defensive positions because he needs the defensive coordinator in place to do that. Let's see. Louisiana, he was assistant to coach Nugent. He was the assistant O line coach Nugent. Thank you for clarifying
Okay.
that, Louisiana.
Thank you.
Um, Louisiana said I did some digging on Ted Rapp too. Niggas out here investigating the Saints off
Oh yeah.
sickos, bro. Just sickos, bro.
Sick man.
I did some digging on Ted Rapp too. Apparently, man, Nick Sirianni used Ted as a scapegoat. Man, all cause his head coach spot was on the line. That doesn't surprise me
Mm,
at all.
that
Nick Sirianni was
sounds
spot
very
fucking on.
believable.
Like he won a Super Bowl and whatever, but like still can't stand Nick Sirianni to save my fucking life. Um, Demon Time Slime coaching staff finally getting a fresh start and a new outlook. Wayne, again, how you not making sure when you when they don't do mandatory stretch before practice? I mean, like those you brought this point up. Like, there's a lot of positivity about the Saints right now with the Kellen Moore thing. I still don't want to lose sight of the whole ass child molestation scandal that like kind of just like oh just went away. Um, but like we don't know what Kellen Moore's practice habits are with the
Oh
team. No
man,
one knows.
that's my radar is like open. I can't wait to see what's his practice style. Like, is he go hard? Got guys going for 2.5 hours. Is he lax? What's is he aggressive? Aggressive in camp. Is it? I don't know. I want to see like I want to see the participation. I want to see
Mm-hmm.
all of it, man. I'm interested to see how
Like,
that works out because it means a lot.
do you remember when the first year of Da as head coach and like
Hmm.
like you said the participation is like oh like there was like 60% of like people players there for like voluntary workouts and
Yeah.
it was on our radar and people were like oh you guys are making like
Well,
shit like that matters in football.
it's voluntary. It's involuntary. It's like it's a new head coach and like half your leaders aren't there. It's like
Oh, okay. Shout out
notable,
to
just notable.
just notable. And then turned out like it was a whole fucking cultural problem. But
Yep.
okay, but we were just dumb. All right, cool. Justin Cash, $5 super chat. Appreciate you, man. Need Kellen to bring Becton with them. Also, thoughts on Milton Williams, the free agent target. You like
Just missed it, bro.
miss a whole ass segment about it, bro.
Just drag that little red line back a little bit. You gonna
Yeah.
find it.
But since you like gave a $5 super chat, like I'm like in like we would both love Milton Williams as me and Ryan did like a whole segment about it. Honestly, like debating between Milton Williams and Mekhi Becton, but you missed it because we did it at the beginning, kind of towards Wayne said that Justin Down, you missed it. See what happens when like we get incentivized. Like I feel like a sex worker. It's like oh we missed it, but like you get that money talking.
I'll do that for you.
That money, right? Shit. We give us either one of them. Milton Williams, I feel we both feel like next to Bresee has the potential. Like he seems like an ascending player and the type of
Oh yeah.
player that the Saints need. He's not going to be
Yes.
cheap.
No.
He's not going to be cheap, but he's the type of player that the Saints need, and they should try to go after. I mean, that's long story short. Someone said I was it Junior Badass. I want the Saints to draft Trey Harris out of Ole Miss. I like Trey Harris as a player.
Hmm.
Um, trying to let's see, we're getting close to an hour, so we're gonna kind of wrap this up. Hey, Adam and Ryan, Tom Pelissero said he talked to various coaches. Yeah, we talked about this across the league. They said how a lot of positive things to say about Spencer Film and feel like he can be a future starter day one. Yeah, pretty. I don't know. I know you don't know, but if you had to guess, what do you think Kellen's temperature would be on him? No idea.
No
No idea.
idea. I
But
really don't know.
like, there's two things that Kellen Moore has showed me that shows me that he knows ball. He said, "I want you if I I'm going to be head coach. I want some type of assurances that you guys are going to try to get rid of and release Derek Carr. One, okay, no ball. Two, I understand that Taysom Hill has a very large contract, but I'm guessing. I would guess through him watching film, he saw that Taysom Hill is a goddamn good football player, and he's like, I want him on the team. Let's try to figure something out to get him to stay on the team. So, and those just two things. One being huge with the quarterback, because that's a huge thing. But two things: the youngest head coach in the NFL who's coming off a Super Bowl has shown he knows fucking ball. At least tactically, not game day, because game day decisions and that's all completely different. But tactically, he showed that he knows ball. So my this is projection. My guess would be he would see a quarterback that probably was in a very shitty situation, that got into a lot of bad feedback loops, just like Caleb Williams did with the Bears, who went one overall, bad offensive line and whatever. And probably saw that, hey, there were some good things that he did as a rookie. He made a lot of good throws that maybe his tight ends dropped a lot of fucking balls. Maybe like a lot. Maybe he made a lot of good plays that got called back for like holding penalties that were like a phantom holding penalty. What does that mean in totality? That I don't know. I have no clue what that means, right? No one knows that. Only Kellen Moore knows that, right? But he's shown things to at least show me that he 100% knows fucking ball.
No question. And look, man, Spencer Rattler tweeted out or retweeted little videos today of him working out somewhere, man, throwing the ball nice, working on footwork and all that stuff. My boy out there working, man. I don't know what y'all talking about. Working, focus on being the right man. He gonna show up early for Kellen. I'm telling you, Kellen gonna see this and be like, man,
When's the last time we saw something from Jake Hainer or Derek Carr, bruh?
do they even like bring players out? Like, remember Drew Brees bring all the players out to California and they go.
Nigga had Shatavius Jones in San Diego throwing passes, nigga. Son, Tavius Jones,
Bruh, had Brandon Coleman out there in Cali on the paddle boats doing a little paddle surfing and shit, man. Like we building a team here.
first ballot. But Derek Carr in Fresno. In Fresno, when the Super Bowl going on in New Orleans, nowhere to be fucking found, nigga. You get
talking about somebody sent me this highlight. Nigga, sit your ass down.
The highlight was 1:30, nigga.
Somebody sent me this banger.
17-game season, 1:30 highlight. Okay, all right, nigga.
Half was with that damn Cowboys game.
Can't take that away from me.
Can't take it away. Can't take it away.
One thing. So one thing I want to say as I wrap this up. DJ said this, and it perked my ears. Perked my ears just a little bit. During the and I know both me and you were in the conference call, working our actual jobs. And so I don't
literally,
like
literally, I was on 2 conference calls. I had a DJ on this end. I had my boss on the other end. I'm like,
nigga, I had an AirPod in one ear and was talking to law enforcement on the phone. Nigga, like, okay, what happened at the house? Okay, like this is what we do for the podcast. I don't think people understand what we do.
They don't understand.
So he said this, and it caught my attention. He said that he hopes, because it ties back to the Saints, he hopes that Mason Graham, he could just see potentially Mason Graham just being a victim of like the spring draft activities, right? The combine, like. Mason Graham. He's not gonna go to the combine, and the combine in itself, like the player weigh-ins, that shit is just weirdly gross slavery, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It is slavery 2025, bro. They out there just in some shorts
Just
and
pinching
just
on this.
it's gross, right? But he was just saying
It's
that,
big black buck right here.
right? But he was just saying that Mason Graham is not going to look like, you know, Jalen Jalen Walker. He's not going to look like Mekhi Williams. He's not going to, and he might not test. He, he not he's not that he's not going to test well, but he's not going to be an athletic freak, right? Oh, what's the fucking draft Nick that didn't block for years? Oh, I can't stand him.
Matt Miller.
That no, that used to say don't do it twice. He worked for Underdog actually. He's a Panthers fan. Can't think of his name right now. He used to say it. He said it about my draft bay from USC, Anthony Barr, about not like counting it twice. I can't think of his name right now. But that just because he
Josh Norris.
Thank you. That's why you my nigga. Don't count it twice. Look at Jake. Jake knew it too. No, that's why my niggas know me. They know me. But that because Mason Graham may not like he may not be an athlete, he might not test like an athletic freak at the combine. He's not gonna go and look like a Olympian athlete, at the combine. That people in football people, whatever, just may like start to overthink him, right? And he may like slip a little bit. And he said that, and he was asked a question about the 49ers, right? That he could potentially, in a world where see that teams may overthink him and cause him to slip a little bit. I was told that Mason Graham wouldn't get past the Jets, right? And the sources that I know usually right 95% of the time. But sometimes things happen because I was told last year that Brock Bowers wouldn't get past the Jets last year. Brock Bowers did get past the Jets last year. They went Fasano in the draft. I don't want to put it out there, bro. I don't want to put it out there. But if Mason Graham, hold on, I gotta address something that was said in the chat. Jack Hunter said Ginty at 9 would be a clown move. Why? Do you not like good players? Do you not like good players? Why would it be a clown move? Can you explain to me football logically why it would be a clown move? Was Jahmyr Gibbs at 12 a clown move for the Lions? Would the Lions without Jahmyr Gibbs be as good as they are right now? Please respond. Anyway, let me get back to my Mason Graham point as Jack responds to my question. If Mason Graham starts falling down the draft board, Ryan, that would be a like a draft gift from the draft gods, because I know for certain that the Saints would not pass on him.
Oh, no way. No way. No way. Give me. We'll see, man. It's going to be interesting.
And honestly, if he gets to if he starts falling to 6 or 7, I might be I'm like, shit, I might give up that Marshawn. I think he's such one of the best players in the draft.
Panthers pick at 8, right?
Yes.
Panthers at 8.
Ooh, nope, don't want them.
They need D-line bad too.
Bad, bro.
Way he get past them. No way, right? Never know. Bro. You never know, man. But I could see what DJ talking about too. I could see.
I could, because you think about all the great defensive linemen, right? JJ Watt, he went 11, 10?
11.
Right?
He went to 11, yeah.
Aaron Donald went
10th or 11, something like
11.
that. Yeah,
they have the tendency to fall.
Yeah,
it's true. It tends to happen. What did Derek Brown went pretty high? Maybe I'm tripping.
Can't remember where.
Oh, sorry. Wayne said Aaron Donald went 14. God damn.
14. Yeah. Okay.
But I I could easily see it. Um, it would be such a great pick for the Saints, bruh.
Oh yeah.
Demon Time Slime said, "Why did I feel like Brown went eighth? Yeah, that feels about right. Yeah, yeah, that feels about right. Yeah. Jashawn said, at first I was so high on Mason Graham, but if there's a decision between him and Genty, the Saints should get Genty. Highly disagree. Highly disagree. Like we haven't even put I haven't even put Mason Graham in our prospect of the week
Because he won't
polls
be there.
because I just have not thought that he would be there. Because it I'll be honest, I have not done a 180 on a player as fast as I did on Mason Graham. Like you
Oh,
go check our Discord.
complete 180, bro. That was like your first do not draft this guy.
went from a do not one day, and then I watched him more, and I was like, this nigga not
Oh,
gonna be there. He not gonna be there. No, ain't no
hell no.
way. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way, bro.
Paul said Derek Brown went 7. Yeah, that's just like 7, 7,
Mm-hmm.
11, 14. Great defensive tackles seem to just fall a little bit.
Yeah.
Teams seem to overthink them for whatever reason. No matter how great their tape is, no matter how great they work out. Wayne in the chat said Aaron Donald had a great combine, but
Oh yeah.
he was short, he was
He was
compact.
short, which is like good for
But here's the
leverage.
thing: Mason Graham kind of has that. I've said Mason Graham is a white Chris Jones, Jeffrey Simmons. That's who he reminds me of.
Chris Jones went late first, or did he
No,
go
he was
early
second
second?
round.
Second round,
He
yeah.
had some character concerns a little
Character
bit,
stuff.
but
And I remember clearly because I remember I watched Chris Jones and I was like, why is this guy not going top five? Because he was annihilating people when I watched him. Then I watched another game and he was just getting ran over. What happened? What's the chat saying?
King Blood 337 wide receiver more of a need than D line at 9. All right, it's time to end this podcast.
It's time to go, man.
All right. Anyway, we we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We will be doing prospect of the week. We gotta figure out when we're doing it. Looks like it's gonna be Jalen Walker.
Oh.
It was trending towards Luther Burton, and then Jalen Walker had a
Oh, I wanted to do Burton too.
nah, nigga, better watch some defense. Um, Even though I really feel like that's like unless like it just feels like a Pete Carroll player just wrapping
Oh
up.
yeah.
I just
Absolutely.
anyway. But we will do that if that's Patreon only. That's YouTube members only. But we have a lot of content coming next week. I will be at the combine. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Make sure you are following us on all social medias. Um, all social medias, YouTube, Twitter, X. Oh nope, not calling it that. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Saints Block Party podcast. We love y'all, appreciate y'all. With that, we are out.
Peace.